The general election has been called for Thursday, the 4th of July. One thing is certain. People in this country are completely fed up with the uni-party of the fake Conservatives, the migrant Labour Party, the illiberal Liberal Democrats, and the not very Green Party that wants to pave over our countryside with wind turbines and solar panels. We need a change, and there are so many things that they all seem to agree on, and they've coalesced around policies which are destroying and ruining our country, not least mass rapid immigration, which just gets higher and higher every year. The nonsense of climate alarmism, where we're paving over prime agricultural land, building loads of housing developments in every town, city, and almost every village in the country to house people who are coming in, because we're not training our own young people to do the jobs that need to be done in this country, because our education system has been decimated by cultural Marxist ideology and isn't focusing on excellence or even teaching people basic skills anymore, but is teaching people about gender ideology and climate alarmism and or what they need to do to hate their own country, and they're not being told to be proud of their own nation, as every other country in the world is taught to be. We need a change, and the Heritage Party is that change. We support traditional family values, financial responsibility, free speech, and freedom in all its forms. We will affirm once again our fundamental freedoms: freedom of assembly, freedom to trade, freedom of speech, freedom of belief, freedom of thought. And we will never ever have a lockdown again. And we will come out of the World Health Organization, which wants to implement a pandemic treaty to have some kind of global governance if they decide to have another lockdown. We support carbon. We are carbon positive, and we will rebuild our energy infrastructure based on coal, oil, gas, petrol and diesel, with small nuclear power stations in the mix to provide us with continuous, reliable, cheap energy, rather than dismantling our energy infrastructure and literally blowing up our coal power stations like the fake Conservatives have done, because they are adherent to some nonsensical climate alarmist ideology and the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030, which also needs to go so that we can have our full national sovereignty, which is another one of our principles. We came out of the EU in part, but we need to come out of the EU in full, and we need to come out of any organisation which stops us from living under our own common law in our own country and having sovereignty of this people in this country. That is without question. So the general election is only 6 weeks away. We're ready. We're going to stand candidates where we can, and we want to give everybody the chance to vote for somebody who's not fake Conservative, Labour, Lib Dem, Green, so that we can restore our wonderful and beautiful nation again to what it should be. So please come and join us in the Heritage Party on heritageparty.org. And if we're standing where you are, please do vote for us as well, and help to restore our nation.